This is an IB Physics Topic D SL Paper 2 exam problem. If you're aiming for a 7, you need to be comfortable with this. An electron enters a region of a uniform electric field between two parallel charged plates. The electron is initially halfway between the plates and its initial velocity is parallel to the plates. As shown here, the electron is midway between the plates and it has been pushed horizontally. The following data are given. Initial speed of the electron. We know the initial speed with which it's pushed to the right. Potential difference between the plates, 30 volts. Distance between the plates is 4 centimeter. That's shown here. The question is, state the direction of the acceleration of the electron. To find the direction of acceleration, it's good if we can find the direction of force. When the electron is pushed inside the plates, that's when it moves into the plates, it will curve upwards. It will be attracted towards the positive plate. That means if the force points up towards the positive plate, the acceleration must point upwards as well. So the answer to the question is upwards towards the positively charged plate. The second part of the problem says, show that the magnitude of the acceleration of the electron is about 10 raised power 14 meters per second square. So we have to figure out the acceleration of the electron. In order to find the acceleration, it's a good idea if we can find the force on the electron. But how can we do that? Well, if you go to our data booklet, you'll find these two equations here. This equation, we can rearrange it and find the force, but this equation uses electric field, which we don't know. But electric field can be found using this equation, the potential difference and the distance between the two plates. So I'm going to copy these equations and paste it on the problem. So here are the two equations which we were looking at. Let's rearrange this equation. This equation can be rearranged as force on an electron is equal to the charge of an electron times the electric field between the two plates. The electric field can be substituted from this equation. I'm going to use V over D in place of this E. If I do that, I get F equals Q V over D. Do we know the three terms? Yes, we know the charge of an electron. You can look it up on the data booklet. The potential difference V is given to us. It's 30 volts. The distance is 4 centimeter. Note that we need to convert everything into SI units. That is, centimeters must be pushed to meters. Let's try and do that. The value for Q is 1.6 into 10 to the minus 19. The value of V is given as 30 and we divide by the distance, which is 4 centimeters. We'll convert this to meters. You just divide by 100, which gives us 0.04 meters. We simplify this and we end up with 1.2 into 10 to the minus 16 newtons. Great, we found the force on an electron. But what are we after? We want to find the acceleration. How can we do that? Well, let's use Newton's second law, which is force equals mass times acceleration. We can rearrange this equation for A. That would be force divided by mass. Do we know the force? Yep, that's here. Where do we get the mass of an electron? From the data booklet. It's given over here. 9.1 into 10 to the minus 31. So force is 1.2 into 10 to the minus 16 and mass is 9.1 into 10 to the minus 31. So if you plug this into our calculator, we'll end up with 1.3 into 10 to the 14 meters per second square. And that's exactly what we were trying to figure out. The acceleration should be about 10 to the 14. That's what we end up with. All right, great. Let's move on. This one is for 3 points. The electron collides with one of the plates. Determine the distance the electron travels parallel to the plates. Let's go back to the top of the problem. We know that the electron is going to travel in a curved path and be pushed upwards. It's going to collide with the positive plate at some distance. The question wants us to figure out this horizontal distance that it travels before it hits the plate. So we can think of the electron as if it's moving horizontally, moves a distance x, and it moves upwards and has a displacement y. Now there's one interesting thing in this problem. That is, when the electron moves, it only has one force acting on it. That force points upwards. So if this is the electron, the only force acting on it is upwards. That means there's no force in the horizontal direction. If there's no force in the horizontal direction, the horizontal acceleration is 0. If the horizontal acceleration is 0, its horizontal velocity must stay constant. That means if its initial horizontal velocity is this number, when it moves on the curved path, its horizontal velocity is always going to stay the same, regardless of where it is on its path. That means we can assume that the electron moves with a constant horizontal velocity of 9.4 into 10 to the 6 meters per second. Now to find the horizontal distance that the electron travels is simple. We just take the speed with which it's moving horizontally and multiply it by the time it moves until it hits the positive plate. So the bottleneck is this capital T. We somehow need to find the time the electron is moving until it hits the top plate. So how do we find the time the electron is in motion? For that, we need to focus on the vertical displacement. Let's try and do that. If you look at the vertical displacement of an electron, which is y, which is the same as 2 centimeters, why not use this Suvat equation? The Suvat equation I'm looking at is S equals ut plus 1/2 at square. Now what's this term u? U is the initial vertical velocity. How much is that? That's 0, because the electron only has an initial horizontal speed, an initial horizontal velocity when it's pushed into the field. It doesn't have any vertical velocity. So this term over here is 0. That means this entire term should disappear. So let's remove this. Our equation therefore is S equals 1/2 at square. But what is this S? This is the vertical displacement y. And how much is y? Well, y is 2 centimeters. So we know S. Let's replace S with y. Our equation becomes y equals 1/2 at square. And what's A? A is the acceleration of the electron. Do we know that? Yes, we figured it out when we were solving this part of the problem. Alright, so we know all the terms in this equation. I'm going to rearrange this for t. So t would turn out to be 2y over a with the square root. Note that this is the time when the electron hits the top plate. That means we have found the time the electron moves. It's 2 times the distance between the plates, distance between the center to the top plate divided by a. I'm going to use this value and substitute it here. If I do that, our equation becomes x equals u of x square root 2y over a. Now the problem is done. All we have to do is substitute the values. Alright, so let's try and do that. X would be ux, and ux is given to us, it's 9.4 into 10 to the 6 square root 2 times y is 0.02 divided by the acceleration, which we found out to be 1.3 into 10 to the 14. All right. Now let's push this into a calculator and see what we end up with. We end up with 0.16 meters. That would be 16 centimeters. So that solves this part of the problem. Let's move on. In another experiment, a uniform magnetic field directed into the plane of the diagram is established between the charged plates. The initial velocity of the electron, the distance between the plates, and their electric potential difference remain unchanged. The electron passes undeflected through the region of the electric and magnetic fields. Calculate the magnetic field strength. So what's going on here is we have the same setup, but this time we have a magnetic field that's pointing into the plane, that's going into the screen. What happens then? Well, the electron, you shoot the electron with the same horizontal speed, but it moves undeflected. It goes right through the two plates. Then we have to somehow figure out the magnetic field strength. Well, if the electron moves undeflected, it means the total forces acting on the electron should be 0. We already know one of the forces that acts on this electron is pointing upwards. That is due to the electric field. The other force, therefore, should point downwards. That is the magnetic field. The two forces cancel and the electron moves in a straight path. Do we know electric force? Yes, we already found it. How can we find the magnetic force? To find the magnetic force, let's use the equation given in our data booklet. The equation you'll find over here. F equals QVB sine theta. So let's copy that equation. The magnetic force would be Q, the charge of the electron, velocity of the electron, magnetic field strength, sine of the angle between the velocity vector and the magnetic field vector. What's theta in this case? Well, if this arrow points into the screen, the velocity vector points rightwards. The angle between them is 90 degrees. So if theta is 90, sine 90 is 1. Therefore, this equation simplifies to the magnetic force is QVB. Alright, and this magnetic force should be equal to the electric force because the two forces are balanced. So I'm going to write this entire thing is equal to the electric force. Let's rearrange this equation for B. We will get B is electric force divided by speed times the charge of an electron. Do we know all the variables in this equation? Yes, we know Fe, we know Q, we know the speed. All we have to do is plug in the values. So let's try and do that. For the electric force, let's go back. For the electric force, I'm going to use this value. 1.2 into 10 to the minus 16. 1.2 into 10 to the minus 16. For the charge, I'm going to use 1.6 into 10 to the minus 19. For the V, that is the speed, we go to the problem and use this value, 9.4 into 10 to the 6. 9.4 into 10 to the 6. Let's use our calculator. We'll end up with 8 into 10 to the minus 5, and the unit is Tesla. And that completely solves this problem. I am building a complete Topic D exam problem playlist like this. Subscribe if you want the full set.